Hey guys, Dissection here. We got another one for you. UFC Fight Night, Sterling versus Zalal. UFC Vegas 116. Should be another really good show for you guys today. Just making sure we're going. We're going. Awesome. Pretty good card. Can't complain. A lot of close fights, but we'll get through it. Let's recap UFC Fight Night Winnipeg. Did pretty good on predictions. Went 9-2 on predictions. Would have went 10-2, but unfortunately, we'll get to that. But we had a draw on the card. Let's start it off though. We had UFC the UFC debut for Jamie Siraj versus John. I guess two debuts: John Younes versus Jamie Siraj. We'll get right through that, and then we'll move on to the rest of the card. John Yanes versus Jamie Siraj. Honestly, it wasn't a great performance from Jamie Siraj. I was really looking forward to his debut to see, you know, how he do back at 135. He hasn't fought at 135 since he fought my buddy, Mr. Gabe Sagman. He has not fought since 2019 at 135. And what do you know? He already made a post on social media blaming the weight cut, that he only had 13 days to lose 30 pounds, blah, blah, blah. This is what I'm saying, man. For you guys who say, oh, well, you put him in your top five confident. I also didn't know the weight class they were fighting at. On Tapology, it said 145. Well, you know what I mean? I don't know. So I found out later in the week it was 135. I still kept my pick, thinking maybe he had enough time to get the weight down. Turns out he didn't. You know, I can't control these things. Fighters don't disclose pre-week how their weight cut's going. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. I know Jamie. I don't know him personally. We follow each other on social media. He's a good guy, family man. He's been working really hard. He grinds. He came back from adversity in life. He should come back from this adversity. They're giving him another chance. So hopefully, he can show what he's really made of in the next fight. But yeah, I'll keep these comments short and brief. John Yanes, I had a feeling he could KO Siraj. Siraj striking has just never been his best attribute. But man, that was a really rough performance to watch. I'm trying not to take too much from it because Siraj saying he had a really bad weight cut, kidneys, etc. But I don't know. I can't really use excuses as the whole reason why he lost. He's never again been that good on the feet. So John Yanes landing on him like that was not surprising. What I was shocked more with was the takedowns. They were just, I mean, his wrestling was not always great either, but I felt like it was good enough to get Yanes down. And then once he's down, I feel like Siraj can do work. But John Yanes, man, he just had a good debut. He had a tough fight for Contender Series. I'm pretty sure he was on Contender Series. Yeah, he fought Bashi. I think it was Contender Series. Actually, I could be wrong. I thought this was his debut. No, it wasn't. He got a call up to fight Bashi on short notice. I'm pretty sure, and that's a tough fight on a short notice. So credit to him for taking the fight. The guy's a gamer. John Yanes is a gangster. He's not exactly one of the most skilled guys, but he's really he's a dog. His grappling is his weakness. That's why I picked Siraj. But Siraj also just did not have a good weight cut. He did not look good out there. It is what it is. Yanes gets the win. We lose that. I put out Siraj as one of my picks. I was gonna parlay him with Jazz, but I was like, you know what? Let me just play him. Let me parlay him straight. Because I hate betting on my teammates. They went 2-0, but I just don't like betting on my teammates. Just my rule. It's never done me well in the past. Not that I'm saying, my teammates aren't good or anything. I'm just saying I don't seem to have a good read on betting them. So I'm just staying away from betting my teammates unless I really think there's a spot that I can exploit. But I stayed away. I did give out some props for the card for my team, but I can't really sit here and say I put money on them pre-flop or anything. Made some money live, but other than that, guys, I have nothing really to write home about. Yeah, man. Let's get right into it though. Siraj. Yeah, we'll get right into the rest of the card. Let's just end it with Siraj will be back. Giannis, good performance. I thought it was your debut, but should have probably taken Giannis in hindsight. But hindsight's 2020. Moving on. Castaneda versus Mark Vologden. This was a great fight. honestly, Mark Vologden has to be one of those guys that like he's on Contender Series, and I'm thinking this guy can't possibly get another fight of the night. I said it last video, and what do you know? He arguably deserved fight of the night again. That was a great fight, wonderful fight. The thing with that though that really bothers me here is Castaneda. I thought won. I'd say 65 to 70% of round one. He landed the better shots, some pretty good combos. Um, but man, Blogden, he hung in there. He made it competitive in round one, so I could see a judge or two giving him that round. I think where you lose me is round two. Now, is it a fair to take a point? Usually, I'd say yes. But because there's so many incidents where there's low blows after low blows after low blows, eye pokes after eye pokes, and no point gets taken, I'm thinking to myself, well, the one time I like actually get the points get taken is against my guy. I mean, I'm not playing the victim or anything. I'm just saying like it's kind of annoying, man. Like they pick and choose when they want to like actually be consistent with the rules. Do I think it's fair they took a point? Yeah, even though I don't think that was like a deliberate, I know you got to watch your weapons, but that wasn't that bad. The first one was bad. The second one, just kind of skimmed the cup. I would have let him off on that one, but whatever, man. They took a point. That completely changed the fight because he won that round dominantly on the scorecards 10-9. Castaneda was beating the crap out of him, honestly. And then we go to round three. This is where I start getting a little annoyed. Castaneda Castaneda honestly just destroyed him that whole round. I would say 4.5 minutes. I would say he destroyed Vologin. He almost finished him on multiple occasions. The ref could have waved it off a few points, but they let Vologin fight. They knew the point got taken. He arguably maybe won the round the first round, so the judges are thinking, or sorry, the ref. What's his name again? I should know this because he's always doing some shady shit behind the scenes. What's his name? Let me see something. Um, why don't I remember his name? Herzog, Jason Herzog. Herzog, I think he knew that this was going to go to a draw. And he didn't want Vologden. He wanted to give Vologden every chance. I don't think he rigged it. I'm not really a conspiracy minded guy anymore. I used to be, but I don't really think that was a rigged fight. I think what happened was he tried to give him the benefit of the doubt that he was still there. He just was taking a lot of damage. And I feel like that's good that he did because at the end of the round, Castaneda, I don't know what his idea was here, but he told him to get to the center of the octagon and pretty much gave him a chance to win. Why are you doing that? You're arguably getting a draw. Hunt the finish. You need a 10-8 round. Instead, he arguably throws that 10-8 round away by pointing to the center, and he loses the exchange in the middle. Blondin landed the better shots in that 30 seconds, or 10, 20 seconds, whatever it was. He actually hurt him. He dropped him with because he threw like two or three Rolling Thunders, and this one landed. So I'm actually pretty disappointed in John Castaneda because he kind of threw that fight away in a way with the stupid low kicks. I don't know, man. That one I'm not really too mad at John for. I'm more mad at John for the 30 seconds because why are you giving him a chance when you arguably are going to get a 10-8 round? And he did. He unfortunately, in my opinion, made it a 10-9 when he could have got a 10-8. I don't think they would have gave it to him. Judges are really not the most giving with 10-8 rounds. It's annoying. Just look at the Yanez fight. The round three, the one judge gave him a 10-9. Like that's crazy to me. But then with Alexa Grasso, they gave her a 10-8 versus Shevchenko. It's like make it make sense. Anyways, Vologden won that exchange at the end, so I feel like it was a 10-9 round. And because of that, I still had it 29. Sorry, yeah, 20. I still had it 29-27. Um, maybe even 29-26. But because of that point deduction, it made things really swampy. And of course, we had great live spots on there. We got screwed out of that. So just like the Yanez fight, we got screwed. It's getting pretty annoying. I could have hit draw both fights, and I chose not. Oh, actually, no. I tried to get draw on Yanez. I couldn't. This fight, I didn't even look. Probably should have. Missed that. Whatever though. Happy people cashed like 80 to 1 tickets on that. Good for them. But yeah, that shit is annoying, man. Like the judging is horrific. Like absolutely horrific. I'm Oh, maybe I should be a judge. No, they get paid nothing. You almost see why they don't care. It's like they're not getting paid much. They're doing it purely for the love of the game or the love of screwing people over. And we'll get to the next fight here in a second, but man, that was rough. But let's get to the robbery of the card. Like this was arguably a robbery, but this was the true robbery of the card. We had Jamie Lynn Horth as our pick. Moving on, sorry. We had Jamie Lynn Horth as a pick. She got robbed pretty badly. I had it 29-28, 30-27 maybe even. The round three I thought was close-ish. I leaned Aldridge. But man, if you gave Horth that round, I wouldn't be shocked. It's just one of those fights where I thought Horth arguably won 3 rounds. I had it 29-28 just because I thought she lost that round maybe like 65, 70%. But people are saying, "Oh, I can't believe that people are scoring that for Horth." I definitely was not confident in round three. Rounds one and two, I thought easily were Horth. But this is where it gets crazy because at worst it should be a split. No, they gave Aldrich all 3 rounds. That to me is insane. Aldrich lost the first two pretty clearly. She just didn't do as much. She landed some decent shots, but she didn't do as much volume. So I thought Horth won that pretty easily, 29-28, 30-27 potentially. I just really, I don't know, man. Judging has made it. I mean, I made money, a little bit, not that much. I put like a little bit on the big money plus 2,000 or something, but it wasn't a lot because I didn't think it was gonna win. Had I know that these judges, I would have put more. But I can't read these judges' mind. I don't know. I just guess because I know how these judges operate. After the last one, I'm like I have to because these judges aren't doing their job. So I guess good read on that on by me. But I couldn't even post it because I'm like, man, these judges are just so bad. It was purely just like a game, like for like a fun little game to see how bad these judges are, and they prove how bad they are every time. So it is what it is. I feel for Jamie Lynn Horth, but it is what it is. It's women's MMA. They're not paying attention that great, so you got to really put a stamp on it. And you can't just win a kickboxing match with them. You got to really like try to hurt somebody in there to get these judges' attention because I feel like they don't even watch. If they're probably playing like Angry Birds or something on their phone, like they're just not paying attention. Sorry guys, I keep checking. I won't check anymore. But yeah, I just had to make sure that I'll check back later just to make sure we're still recording. But just gotta make sure I'm making good time. I don't want to talk about this card too long. But yeah, that's probably the most extent I'll talk about this card. Horth's robbery was pretty bad, but whatever. Moving on. Croden versus Lesnikova. I'm just gonna keep this short. I got teased pretty hard on Croden 2-3. I thought Croden was gonna do enough to get the finish. Zeleznikova did enough to like get her way back to the feet a few times. But man, she grabbed the cage so many times. It's crazy how they didn't take a point. Croden almost got her out of there. If there was like 10 to 20 more seconds, I feel like that finish was hers. But unfortunately, we lose the round two, round three prop. That would have been huge. Can't control these things. You just gotta hope and pray it hits. It's kind of why these are long shots, right? But it is what it is, man. Croden gets the win. I love Croden, for a bunch of reasons. She's awesome. But yeah, man, great. I want to say great performance. I just think with Croden is she just, and it's not hating. It's just pointing out what I'm watching. She's just a little slow on the feet, and she looked decent this fight, but she's just getting hit with a few things. I figured that. I said that at my breakdown. Zarya pre-flop would probably be live because she won round one pretty easily. I said she would win round one. It's rounds two and three I thought she would slow down. And Croden's pressure, she did what she needed to do. Clinch her, make her arms heavy. She made Zeleznikova literally turn her back and run at one point. That was pretty funny. But yeah, Croden, she's a dog, man. She's gonna come to scrap. She's gonna come to find finishes late. She's gonna she's gonna have to learn, kind of like similar with Jazz. She's gonna have to like, I don't know, work on like her fast switch. If she's gonna like hang with these girls at the higher ends of the division, I think it's more so for like 125 than 135 because 135 they're not exactly as fast twitch. You do have Norma Dumont, who is pretty fast twitch, but we have like not too many people. I would say like who's the champ? Kayla, she's not fast twitch. It's her grappling, but other than that, like they don't really have a lot of fast twitch girls at 135 I can think of, right? So I don't know, man. I think Croden will be fine. Um, you know, she's awesome. Love Croden, so happy she got the win. Moving on. Gokhan Sarachan versus Tanner Bozer. This was frustrating. Very frustrating. We were very close to cashing the go the distance prop. I feel like Bozer just threw my go the distance prop in the garbage. He just said, let's just have like a war, thinking his chin's like granite or something, like he's Marvin Vittori. I don't know, man. This guy, he's notably had a good chin. I'm not saying he doesn't have a good chin, but like he fought in a way where he's like, I can't be hurt. And he got hurt a few times. And you think after the first few times, he'd be like, you know what, maybe I should just sit back, find my shots a little more carefully, whatever. Maybe, you implore some more wrestling, which he did. So I'm not saying he did terrible or anything. I'm just saying, like, it would have been nice to see him, fight a little more smart in there. But it's whatever. That's not really Tanner's style. He's more just a brawler, scrapper. And it is what it is, You go out on your shield like a warrior. It is what it is. I can't hate on the guy for that. All right, he's just trying to make it a good fight. He's not out here to win by points. Gotta respect that. But man, Gokansaki, Saracom is just a really good martial artist. Now, yeah, I would say so. His combos were crisp, bunch of heat on his punches. Like he looked really good out there. Oh, I promised I wouldn't look again. Sorry, I'm just trying to make it under 30 minutes. Um, I'm sorry. Okay, I mean it this time. I'm not looking. Saracom is just not someone that you can trust against the better guys. Because you see he gets tired. The thing with Saracom, though, is against these guys who are just going to be punching bags, he's going to look good. He couldn't get down Bozer, which is alarming. Bozer's not historically known for his grappling, but, he just outstruck him on the feet. People were giving me grief for taking Saracom. My dumbass should have just played Saracom moneyline. Because odds weren't that crazy. And Bozer is horrible. Like in my opinion, his skill set is just non-existent. He doesn't know how to kick. His grappling isn't there. He's just basically like a bare knuckle boxer. He'd do better in bare knuckle, honestly. I feel like he should just do bare knuckle. You're not getting paid what you do in UFC, so I can't tell another man to leave a paycheck in UFC to go fight in bare knuckle. But you see what I'm saying? If the UFC thing doesn't pan out, which I assume it won't, go to bare knuckle. It's going to be better fit. Maybe dirty boxing. It's going to fit your style a lot better. But whatever, man. What do I know? I'm just some guy on the internet talking about fights. Anyways, Garrett Gokhan Saracom gets the win. Prediction was right. He was always winning this fight. Moving on. Robert Valentin versus Julian LeBlanc. I'm going to keep my comments. I don't really care for Bozer, so that's why I'm kind of a little more explicit with him. Julian, I'm going to try to keep it not as unfiltered. LeBlanc, he's a great guy. Really, really sound guy. I was hearing he was going to retire before he got this shot. Would have been nice to know that pre-flop. I just don't think LeBlanc has the skill set to hang with the top guys. And I'm not saying he sucks. I'm just saying like he's just not there. Like he cross-trained a little bit, but like how old is he? 34? Like, and also another thing, the Canadian prospects, they need to be younger, man. This is getting unreal. Like making their debut at 34, 36, 35. Like you gotta we have to have some younger talent. This is crazy. We see some young guys on the rise, because Canada. That's the thing with Canada is we haven't had an amateur scene in Canada, so that's probably a lot of the big reason why for so long, just because it wasn't legal over here. But I think with Canada, we're gonna see more younger talent in the future. But as of right now, we don't have that many in the UFC. I think we have Cody, but that's about it. I can think of at least. Maybe Louis Jourdain, but man, we don't have that many. I think Charles is pretty young too, but regardless, what my point is, we don't have that many. But Julian LeBlanc, he did not look good out there. But if you look at his record, man, it's like, are we shocked? Like we haven't, like I said in his breakdown, we don't really have that much to work with. He hasn't beat anyone that great. You know what I mean? Darian Weeks was his best win, and it's like he was losing a lot of that fight. So I don't know, man. I hope the best for Julian. I really do. He's a great guy. But Valentin, he's just faced better guys. He's looked better, more dangerous, and on the ground, it just didn't even look fair. Like LeBlanc had no idea what to do, and Valentin is exactly like a savant aficionado on the ground. So it's like I don't know, man. I just was pretty disappointed with that debut. But yeah, Valentin, prediction was right. Cashed some tickets there inside the distance money line. It is what it is. Played it small, didn't go big, but regardless, I wish I did go big, honestly. But moving on. Mauricio Barboza versus Dennis Bazooka. Oh, I want to check so bad. I'll check after. Barboza, first round KO. I called it. Round one KO. Played both. Couldn't parlay him just because I don't know how he's going to be in 2 or 3. But honestly, I should have. Bazooka's just too hittable, man. He is too hittable. And he was willing to make it a firefight. And with Mauricio Barboza, you can't do that. Like, you should be playing that point game, which he was to an extent. But Barboza is a beast. The first round, he's one dangerous man. He's one dangerous man. Yeah, the guy's a demon. I definitely would not want to fight that guy. That is one scary guy. Um, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if someone does get to extend him, how he's going to do, because that's just another first round. That's what, 18 or 19 first round finishes. Insanity. One of the best first round guys, I guess, in the division, if not the UFC. That's pretty crazy. I don't think we've seen stats like that before since, what, McKinney? That's just insane. How many does McKinney have? I guess he doesn't have as many fights. That's crazy how many fights Mauricio has, and this is his debut. How old is Mauricio? Let me see. 27. So he's got lots of time. He's already 18 and 2. I'm just used to sorry, just got a message. Oh, yeah, I don't know, man. I think Barboza is probably one of those guys that's going to be around for a while. He's a fun fighter to watch. Moving on, we had Gage Young versus Thiago Moises. Split is crazy. I think split is just because they saw the dance moves and they're like, screw this guy. But he honestly cooked him in round 3. And then round 2 he won, in my opinion. So I don't see how that was a split, but whatever. It's better he didn't get robbed by like Horth. Especially with these judges, I'm not surprised. Thiago Moises, he's just a great one-on-one fighter. He knows like he knows how to get to his positions in round 1, but if he can't get to his positions, he just kind of breaks. I know the fighting nerds have been good for him. You saw at the end of the fight, he kind of dogged it up, scrapped it up. He didn't shy away from the fight in the end, but I think Thiago he's just his durability isn't there, so he can't rely on it, and you know, it is what it is. I'm happy Thiago, went out on his shield. He tried to fight, but he couldn't get the win. Actually, I think he landed better at the end there, but Young did all the work in round 3. So Gage Young gets the win. Yeah, man, I like Gage Young, man. He's fun. He's a fun fighter to watch. He's a dog. He's improving. Good win for Gage Young. I was hoping he'd get the KO, but whatever. Moving on. Jazz Jasuda Vicious versus Korean Silva. Okay, I lied, but I need to make sure this gets in the film. Wait. Here, and then here. There it is. Okay. Sorry, that's her pose. I love it, man. It's like her signature pose. I love Jazz, man. She's such a gem. She's a great person. She works hard. Uh, I think she should be 16 and 3, honestly. I think she beat Cortez, but whatever. That's me. She's lost 4 fights other than Cortez. Actually, she should be 17 and 2, honestly, because that Reed fight was the worst robbery, one of the worst robberies you've seen. And Natalia Silva, obviously, no, she lost that one. And Fiorot, she lost. So it should be 17 and 2, but whatever. 15 and 4. I still think Jazz has a lot of tread left on the tires. She wasn't her best performance, I would say. But I'm very, very, happy that she knows how to. She just knows when she's on top, she's gonna eventually get out. Because I think, man, Karine Silva in that first round had her in a tough little puzzle, but she managed to figure it out in the third. I wasn't very nervous there. I had a big live spot on her, and I had to cash out half of it just because, man, what if she got stuck there again? We still made some money on Jazz. I'm not too upset about it, but man, Karine Silva, you know, again, I'm gonna restrict my comments, just because I don't want to be, these girls are out here, fighting. Karine's no bum. She's a very dangerous opponent, but I just feel like Jazz that easily should have been, a fight where Jazz could have maybe had more fun on the feet. But Karine Silva hits hard. She did come out pushing forward instead of skirting the cage, so I was pretty surprised by that. But I guess wrestlers can't wrestle hard on their back foot, so that's not a bad game plan. I just think Jazz is just better than her. And in the third round, she started opening up, and when she started opening up, she had success. I just feel like she should have done a little more. I know in the first round you got to be careful. especially her last fight. I can understand why she came out a little more cautious, but man, Jazz is just she's just someone you just always want to cheer for. She's just such a good person. She's she's truly like one of those things like you start so late in the sport and you're doing better against girls who've been doing martial arts their whole life. It's just something that is inspiring, and I do love Jazz, and I think Jazz is truly like a gem in the sport, and it's gonna suck when she's not here anymore. Um, because realistically, I don't know how long she plans to fight for, but I'm gonna miss her fights when she's gone because she's one of my favorite girl fighters, man. She knows how to, make it ugly. And by making it ugly, I mean like she can make it ugly. Like, she's gonna be on top. She's gonna be mean on top. Not one of these girls that just stay on top and just ride out to a decision. She's fun, man. I know women's MMA is evolving, so we're seeing more girls who are fun to watch, but man, Jazz is just it's such an honor to like be able to watch her. And I know this is glazing heavy, but sorry, I got something in my mouth. I gotta get this thing shirt trimmed, man. I'm getting like food from ah oh, that hurts. I don't know. I think I had some something sticky last night, and oh man, that hurts. Okay, I think it's oh, a little bit more. Yeah, Jazz, I think she'll be around a little longer. Um, and I think she's gonna, do some big things in the division before her time's done. So, she's already fought pretty close to a title. I don't know what ranking that's gonna put her up to. Probably maybe one or two spots up. If not, maybe even stay the same. I don't know what they're gonna do with her ranking, but hopefully she gets a big fight next. She deserves it. You get caught against one of the best girls in the division. I don't think that should set you back that far, and I don't think it did. But I just think Jazz has a lot more to show. And if they're going to give Mike some of these guys who can project into the title, I feel like they should do the same for Jazz because Jazz and Jourdain now, Jourdain just passed the test, and Mike, they're carrying the Canadian flag right now. So I think they should just give them a little more um, big spots to where they can like propel them up the ladder. I don't think special. I think just to like capitalize the Canadian market, they should probably like put some better matchups to like propel them up. I'm not meaning easier matchups. I mean just like better matchups to like really propel them up to the title faster. Because like I said, a lot of the prospects we do have in Canada, or prospects, sorry, the fighters we do have in Canada are older. How old is Jourdain? One sec. I'll get to that. Anyways, just one last thing on Jazz. I do really, really think Jazz is gonna, make another push for that belt, and I'm really excited for her future, man. Like I hope I'm excited for the next matchup. I'm always excited for who they're gonna give Jazz. Jazz is awesome, man. So enough glazing, Jazz. Let's move on. Yeah, moving on. Jai Herbert versus Mandel Nallo. Mandel Nallo, another 36-year-old prospect. I'm like, man, I'm not gonna go through that again. It's just frustrating, man, because like the guy's super talented. I think he's super talented, but the guy just he had a lapse of judgment and he just went crazy. He fought really well and then he just went crazy, and I just don't like that because Jai's tough. You're gonna have to kill Jai. Wait for that perfect shot to kill him because if you just blitz him and hope that you're gonna put him out after hurting him, I mean, it was a lapse of judgment. I'm not the one in there. He's the one in there. So he made that decision on his own. But I know Nallo's better than that, and that's why I picked him. And Herbert's not a young guy either. He's like 37. So I was hoping, this would like be the unk off, and Nallo would just, show him just levels on the feet. But unfortunately, he just threw his technique out the window and went at him like a crazy person and got caught for it. It is what it is. Nallo will be back, but man, that's a rough debut, and it's a hard debut. Give him Jai Herbert in your debut. That's I guess it's because they know he doesn't have a lot of time, so they're trying to propel him quickly. But man, that was rough to watch. I feel for Nallo. It is what it is. Moving on. Kyler Phillips versus Charles Jourdain. I think Jourdain could have made that a lot easier on himself. Let me just check for my own curiosity. How old is Jourdain? Please be in his 20s. Okay, 30. That's not the worst. He's been in the UFC since he was like what, 20? When did he start the UFC? 2019. So that would be he was 23 years old when he started in the UFC. That's pretty crazy, honestly. So I can understand why he had a rough, start. I think he lost his debut to Des Green. Who the heck is Des? Is that the black guy that got into like I think like killed someone or something? He was in jail. Is he still fighting? Okay, he's doing like bare knuckle now. Okay, yeah. Man, he's been doing bare knuckle. I haven't even seen it. Yeah, huh. Yeah, Jourdain, man, he was pretty good in the UFC, Des Green, and he got into that legal trouble, and I can't remember what he did, but yeah. But anyways, lost a split to Jordan Philly. Du Ho Choi KO'd him. Or else, yeah, KO'd him. Ewell, Rosa. That one was rough to watch, but that's Erosa, man. He's like that. He's like a prospect hunter. I don't know, man. He's ever since he went to 135, he's looked pretty good. So excited to see the future for him. We'll see what happens with Jourdain at this point in his career, who they're going to give him. Hopefully, they keep propelling him to the top. It's nice to see another Canadian in the title picture. Not title picture, sorry, but in the top, what, 15, 10? So, yeah, excited for Jourdain's future. Cashed us some big tickets, by the way. That was nice, and I slammed him live. That was my big. Jourdain was my cash cow of the night. I needed that. It was a weird card. Made some money. I'm gonna do less props, play less props, because man, it truly is a trap. People give you all these props, and they're thinking, oh, maybe I could just play this, play this, play this. Just keep it simple. Find the two props you like. Play those. The rest of them, if you're gonna play it, go really light. And don't I don't think I did anything too crazy last week, but it's just I don't know. I think I had too much out there and it is what it is. Like I didn't post a lot of them because it's like, man, I don't like posting a lot of these because I give out my props so you can tail them if you want, but as far as like putting out a bunch of props, it's just not what I like to do because props are like traps and make you think that you have all these options, but you really don't. And then you end up losing on more money than you should, and your picks go what? Like I said, 9-2. I should be laughing, which I am because of these live spots, Jourdain's pre-flop, a few other pre-flop spots. I hit some, but those are props, right? So it's like you just focus on the ones you like, and yeah, I didn't like anything for parlays here. It's funny, the main parlay that would have been nice would have been Jazz and Mike. Kind of funny because I was not gonna play that because it's my teammates. But then when I don't play my rule, or sorry, when I listen to my rule, I don't do it, is when they do well. It's kind of funny. But the next fight, if I do it, you never know what will happen. You know what I mean? So it's just better to be consistent and just don't do that. Because I don't want to give you guys biased picks because I never know if maybe I'm just too biased. But I do feel like I did have a good read on the Jazz fight and Mike fight, more so Jazz. I feel like Mike would win too, but I was just more confident in Jazz just because I just feel like Jazz is, getting a matchup which is a little more favorable. Whereas Mike, this was like I know Burns is on the way out, but it's like Burns is still Burns. He's dangerous, He's got ridiculously good jiu-jitsu, KO power. But man, let me get to the Mike fight. Mike is just so much bigger than Burns out there. That was so apparent right off the jump. He was just like aura farming out there. Like, okay, not farm, but he had just so much aura. Like, it was crazy. Like, he just was like, okay, aura's the wrong word I should use. He was mogging Gilbert Burns in there. Just looked way bigger than him. The power difference was huge. Mike has like this really cool style where he's breathing on every shot, and he looks like a pro striker out there. Like he's been striking his whole life. Like it's beautiful to watch, honestly. Uppercuts, hooks, you name it. This guy's got some nasty, nasty hands. Some nasty hands. He didn't kick a lot this fight. He used it mostly for calf kicks. But it's kind of better he didn't because if he kicked, maybe Burns catches him and now he's on the ground. But he showed really good takedown defense. He's doing a lot of really good wrestling with one of our wrestling coaches, my wrestling coach, Javon Belfort. He has Chris Prickett in his corner, who's a really good wrestling coach. These guys are just helping Mike a lot. Mike's just a sponge. He's really like a technique wizard. He just has a lot of really good technical. He does mostly technical work. Just to give you a little insight on Mike, he's a very technical guy. I really, really enjoy watching Mike train because he's just so, like I said, so technical. All I hear is every 5 seconds, "Nice, Mikey!" Like it's just like he's just so technical. So it's like everything he does, it looks like he's done it a million times because he drills and he just works. He works really hard. He works smart and he works hard. But yeah, now we're in the point for Mike where he's fighting the best guys. So Mike's going to be forced to sink or swim here. And I do think he's going to swim because he's got technique, and that's something you can't really you could teach it, but you can't like instill that in someone. Someone, especially when you're tired, you lose technical ability. I just feel like Mike's technique is gonna, stand the test of time. Where I worry for Mike is these big hitters in the division: Michael Morales, Prates, JDM's more so volume. He has power, but it's. I feel like Mike is. I feel like that's actually a good style matchup for Mike, because yes, JDM has good boxing, but so does Mike. So yeah, that's a really good fight. I would like to see that fight. But man, a lot of these guys are really dangerous, and I'm just really hopeful Mike, keeps rising the division and brings the belt home back to Canada. But I'm telling you, it's a killer's row at 170 once you actually get to the top 10, and I feel like this is a good opportunity for Mike to like really show how good he is, and I'm excited. Like Mike always says, privilege. It's a privilege to be put in these situations. It's like what people say like these fighters are doing. It's like you're never gonna. Mike always says it, you're never gonna be in these positions again in your life. So you might as well just take advantage of these opportunities, treasure them, soak them in, and I feel like that's what he's doing. And I respect Mike greatly for this. It takes courage to go out there and fight these guys. Again, you guys are like thinking I'm just gonna glaze my teammates, but we're in Canada, man. I'm not in the States where all these guys are just prospects next week, another prospect here, or Brazil, prospect here, prospect Russia, prospect. Like we're in Canada, so that it's like all we have is GSP to hold on to. And having Mike is gonna make some young Canadians out there think I can do this too. Jourdain, I could do this too. Jazz, I could do this too. So it's really nice to see Canada get some inspiration because we've needed it for a long time and now we have it. So I'm happy for that. I'm happy for Mike. I'm happy for Charles, and I'm happy for Jazz. This is really good to see. I'm sorry, the other Canadians. I don't feel like I'm shitting on you. It's just we're not really breaking any stereotypes. What did we do? 4-5, I think, on the card for Canadians, something like that. So not the best performance on a Canada card, but I'm just happy we got wins. And especially the wins came on the matches that we needed the most. Those other matches were like debuts and matchups where it's like who really cares at the end of the day. Like these matchups are what matters. So I'm really happy now you're fighting someone who's like really experienced for your debut. I have no real qualms about that. This is a long ass recap, but let me make the whatever quick for you. But yeah, man. Great win from a lot. We're gonna move on though. Sorry for yapping so much. Just I love my team and I'm not exactly proud of my country. I know some of you in my Discord saw the fuck Canada shit. I'm not a fan of Canada. I live here, but I'm not a fan of it. I used to be, so proud to be Canadian. I'm not getting political. I'm just saying I'm not proud to be Canadian anymore. I'll let you guys come to the conclusions on why. But as far as that, I'm going to just end it there and just let you guys know I love my team and I love what my country used to be. And yeah, I'm really hopeful that we continue to keep climbing the ladder and more prospects keep coming to coming through the Contender Series, and however they get into the UFC, hope they keep coming in because it's nice to actually be proud, and we don't get much of that these days. So, anyways, guys, moving on. Let me get to the recap of the fight night Sterling Zalal. Let me give this card I'll give it a solid. Let me look through the card. Give it a final grading. No more than 40 minutes. Sorry, guys. I would say, so how many finishes? Great fights. Another finish, another finish, another finish. And finish. I'll give it a 7. I think a 7 is fair. A 7 is fair. Maybe an 8. 7 or 8. Probably 7. 7's fair. Now, if I give this card... Ooh, who was my prospect of the card? I said Barboza. What do you know? Boom! Barboza. That was probably the best performance for a prospect on the night. So I called that one, Barboza. Not that that's a big hot take. He was like the biggest favorite on the card, but I did say he's gonna deliver as a prospect, and he did. So fight of the night, I couldn't decide, and I gave out a bunch of options, so I can't take any credit there. I still think Castaneda Volkman was fight of the night, but whatever. They gave it to I think Jourdain and Phillips, which is whatever. It was a pretty good fight. Kyler was just mostly looking to hug, so I don't really understand how that got fight of the night. Jourdain made it a fight, so. Anyways. Moving on. Oh, yeah, top 5 picks. Last thing. I think I gave out, number 1 was Barboza hit that one. Number 2, I think, was Jazz. Yeah, number 2 was Jazz. Number 3 was, I think, Siraj. Bad pick on my part. Number 4 was Mike. And number 5 got canceled. That was Alan Nascimento. What would it have been? Maybe Nalo or... See, that's how you know I'm transparent. I could have lied and said go Ken Sarkam, but it was Nalo, I think, or probably Horth. Yeah, honestly. So either way, I'm kind of happy I didn't put out my top 5 because would have lost that, and it is what it is. So, anyways, moving on, guys. Enough yapping. Let me see. Did I get under 40? Okay, a little over 40. Whatever. Alrighty, guys. You guys can all make sure to make a note. I always do the timestamps. You guys can even skip through this whole recap if you want. So, it's going to be a longer video, though. I'll tell you that right off the jump. Let's get through it. UFC Fight Night Vegas 116. Pretty good line of fights. We'll do the recap on what I will rate this card pre-flop and what I do for top 5 prospects, all that good stuff. We'll do that at the end like we always do. Starting off, we have Tatalina Alencar versus Julia Pilastri. I am pretty torn with this one because I do think Pilastri has what it takes to win this fight and melt Alencar 2-3. I think 2-3 is pretty live here. Like she is, like her nickname is a psycho. I do think Pilastri. Also, this is a Jurgens fight. I'm just gonna tell you. I'm gonna start doing that more, telling you guys what Jurgens fights are. I think I got this from my buddy Tim Troiano. He anytime there's 2 girls fighting that are, you know, I know it's haram, but I do think this does qualify for a Jurgens fight. You know, I'm not saying to do anything, you sick freaks. I'm not saying to do anything with that, but you know, I'm just calling a spade a spade. It is what it is. I think Julia Pilastri, you finished Kowalkiewicz. Loopy out-wrestled you. Knutson out-wrestled you. Took McKenna to a split. Jazz out-wrestled you, but that's Jazz. I don't know, man. I don't like Pilastri's wrestling. Like, it's just, it's not good. And we have Tatalina Alencar, who's going to be there, and she's going to try to get her to the ground. And she's not the same Tatalina or whatever from Contender Series who got the draw. She lost to Stephanie 2 years ago, and I just feel like she's improved a lot since then. She pretty much dominated Domopoulos easily. She subbed Ariana Carnelosi, who's pretty hard to get down. She's strong. She's like a brick house. And she just, I don't know. I think this is a fight where we're going to see truly if Alencar's grappling is good enough. But I'm going to say I lean Pilastri, I would say maybe 60%, 55%. I would not be too confident in betting Pilastri here at these odds. Like negative 225 is just like a no-go for me. I'm not playing that. I can't see myself betting this. Maybe I changed my mind, but I can't see myself betting this just because what if she just gets taken down on repeat? Like, ever thought about that? What if she just gets, it's not like she's fighting someone who's just trying to hold her either. Like, Alencar's got good jiu-jitsu. So, I'm going to go Pilastri round 3 KO or decision. That's going to be I don't think it's going to happen in 2. I think it's going to happen in 3 or to win by decision. So most likely Pilastri by decision, but let's just move on from that. Yeah. Close fight. Moving on. We have Victor Valenzuela versus Max Griffin. Now everyone's wondering who this Victor Valenzuela guy is. He took a absolute beating versus my guy, Michael Oliveira. I think that's how you say it in Portuguese. Michael. I don't know. Oliveira beat his ass. But Oliveira is a beast. He's a freak of nature. I don't know when he's planning to fight Oliveira, but, you know. This guy's also a savage. Excited for his debut. This guy's awesome. But man, I just feel like Valenzuela is a little basic, honestly. Like, he's dangerous on the feet, don't get me wrong, but like who's the guys he's beating? Kinoshita, who's not the Kinoshita we know, but anyone with shit in their name is definitely can't be that good. Whitehead, not that good. Parrish, not that good. So he hasn't really have any big wins. It's like wow, and it's like he has some losses, like 5-5. Like I don't know. This was a long time ago, so no disrespect to that, but like I just don't think Valenzuela's proven yet. And you're giving him Max Griffin, who has been proven. The issue with Griffin, I think you already know this, but he's 40, and I don't know. Maybe the Unk can get it done. He lost to Chris Curtis by split, who's a pretty good boxer in himself. He got subbed by Chiesa. He beat Wells, Means. He's been beating a lot of unks, honestly. So when it's a battle of the unks, he seems to do pretty well. The last prospect I feel like he beat was Ramiz in 2020. That was disgusting, by the way. But other than that, he hasn't really like beat anyone, below the age of like 30. And I don't know Valenzuela's age. Let me just quick. I think he's in his 20s. 32. Oh, geez. Okay, well, it's still, relatively in his prime. So I don't know. I think Valenzuela wins. I lean him to win, but I'm not sitting here telling you to, run, go bet this guy. I think this is going to be pretty close. I'm going to lean Valenzuela, but this could be like a split type fight. So just be careful betting this. This is not something I would run to bet. Um, Sorry, just making sure. Yeah, I'm gonna stop looking at the clock. Sorry, this might be a long video, guys. I'm just giving you a heads up. I think Valenzuela probably wins though. Probably schools him. I don't know. Probably schools him with the boxing, but I shouldn't say school him. But he probably lands the better shots with the boxing and goes to win a decision win. Yeah, I don't think he KOs Griffin, but I think he probably wins by unanimous or split decision. This is a decision. This screams decision to me. Moving on. Michelle Montague versus Myra Bueno Silva. I'm pretty confident Montague just destroys her. I think Bueno Silva has better striking, obviously. I think her jiu-jitsu is probably superior. But the thing with Bueno Silva is she just plays off her back a lot, and Montague does not. She's a top heavy fighter, and I don't know. The thing with her though is Myra is 34. She's still somewhat in her prime, and she's got nasty submissions, like really good submissions. Like she submitted Jillian Robertson in 2018. That was a while. Yes, I know. She's still pretty much a young pup in the game was Jillian, but why is this guy on my screen? Is there a way I can get this off my screen? Yeah, thank you. Um, yeah. Anyways, I don't know. I think Mara Bonacilva could sub, but you're playing a weird game because Montague does. I mean, she does put herself in some sub territory, but Montague has shown, like, other than the loss to Sabrina D'Souza, two losses to D'Souza, who I rate pretty highly. I think she, I think she just struggles. Like, she's not a good striker, and she's just a top heavy grappler. So I could see like a round 2, 3 TKO for Montague. But I don't know. This could play out pretty close. I'd say Montague's probably my most confident pick, and that's saying a lot for this card. Like this card's pretty ass. I'm not gonna lie. Like this is a pretty bad card. They've been giving us some pretty bad cards as of late, so it is what it is. But I'm gonna go with Montague here. I think she probably wins by TKO 2-3. I feel like if she doesn't get caught in a submission, she should be able to cruise here on top. I don't think it's going to be easy for her, like with the Jazz fight. Like Myra, like Jazz couldn't, and Jazz is nasty on top. So it's like I don't know. I'm like I know Montague's bigger than Jazz, but I just feel like Montague. I don't know. I don't know, man. This is going to be a show me spot for Montague to see how good her top game truly is. Because if Jazz can't get through your guard and put you in these bad positions. Like that's the same thing with Karine Silva. I think it's gonna be Montague decision, honestly. Just off control time and, big shots on top. But I could see a 2-3 KO, but it's like I don't want to play that game. Same thing with Jazz last week. I feel like I just got like, sold a dream. But man, these jiu-jitsu girls are really like not a Ariana Lipsky jiu-jitsu girl, an actual jiu-jitsu girl with really good with really good guard retention and good at, not getting finished. I think I think Montague's going to have trouble finishing this fight. I think it's going to probably go to a decision here. Moving on. We have Jackson McVeigh versus Cedric Dumas. Eighth fight. Eighth fight. I don't even know why I'm talking about this fight, honestly. This fight should not be on the UFC. This should be like LFA or something. Jackson McVeigh is like god awful. He is not good. He can be dangerous, so I am gonna pick him because if you give Dumas a way out, he's gonna take it. My thing with this is McVeigh's wrestling is horrible. He's at the lab, which is good camp, but I don't know. I just feel like Dumas couldn't out wrestle him, and that's what I worry about with this fight. I think it's McVeigh inside the distance for sure, but if fight goes to a decision, I think it might be Dumas that wins because his wrestling is pretty good. Like it's not terrible. He's got a lot of things that are wrong with him, but he's got good wrestling. And he got down Dante Johnson. I'm pretty sure. Like Dante Johnson's a hoss. He got him down, and you couldn't control him for that long, but he got him down. Um, yeah, Oleg Jacek, I'm pretty sure he got him down. I think. I could be wrong. Pretty sure he didn't, but I think he might have. Tululin wrestled him. Azayatar did well there. Brundage. Like these guys are not easy guys to out wrestle. And he did. Panaj, that was funny. Like the guy's got wrestling. He's got some decent wins. I'm not gonna sit here and think this guy can't win. I think this is a pretty close fight. I'm gonna go McVie just because I don't trust Dumas's, fight IQ. But this fight could get ugly. And I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh McVie, everyone put your life on McVie. If you're gonna bet McVie, I wouldn't put much on it. I'd probably go pretty small. This is one of those fights. Oh, the light's dimming down. Might have to turn the lights on. So let me see if you guys can still. Yeah, it's pretty dark. Still light enough. You guys can see me. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go Jackson McVie, but this is a close fight, man. Moving on. Rodolfo Vieira versus Eric Meconico. I gotta go with Rodolfo Vieira, but man, again, this is like one of those fights. If Vieira can't get him to the ground, I think we saw Vieira look pretty good in the boxing versus who was it again? Trayshawn Gore. He outboxed Trayshawn Gore, which is pretty crazy. But I don't know, man. I think McConaughey has better striking, honestly. And I think if he can't get him down, I feel like McConaughey could have some success. Like McConaughey historically has not been bad with his grappling. It's his chin. Because I'm pretty sure Sursurkayev could not really keep him down, if I remember correctly. And Ruzaboyev KO'd him. So it's like, who's really submitting him? He has grappling matches. Like, he's doing grappling matches. Not against high-level guys like Vieira. But, man, I don't know, man. This is one of those fights. It's like, oh, my goodness. You lost. I get it, but it's all by KO. So if you're not KOing him, which I assume Vieira's not, this could, again, play out pretty close. I think Vieira's best chance is to take him down, maybe round 3, get him down. But I feel like 1 and 2, if he's winning these striking exchanges, you could probably keep it on the feet. I'm going to probably pick Vieira. That's probably my pick. But I'm like same thing with Plaster. I can't bring myself to betting them at near 1.4. Like, I'm okay. Like, miss me with those odds. Like, those are just not great odds to bet this fight. A lot of odds are just a little too wide for me, and I can't sit here and play them. So I'm just going to pass on most of this card. I think Vieira wins. I slightly lean him. But, give me those types of odds, like negative 225. You guys don't know what decimals 1.4s are, but negative 225, negative 250. It's just like, no, I'm good, man. Even negative 200, I'm good. Like, I just think Vieira, I don't even want to bet this fight, no matter what the odds. But if they keep climbing in this way, I might have to sprinkle on Meconico, right? I'm a value better. I do believe in value betting. But, I also got to, if it makes sense, it makes sense. I got to say, like, if I see any plus 250s or plus, then I'll take a shot at Meconico. But as of right now, not a lot of interest here. Maybe even a 200, but I don't know. I'll think about it. I think Vieira probably wins. That's the reason why I'm just hesitant on even taking a value spot. But, man, this is one of those fights, man, that this could, if people are hammering Vieira, this could age pretty poorly. I could see a lot of props going wrong with this fight, with this card. People just betting props to bet props, and then they lose their money. And it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, I wouldn't do it, but to each his own. And, yeah. Whatever. Moving on. I'm gonna go. Yeah, moving on. We have Marcus Buchecha versus Ryan Spann. I gotta go with Buchecha. All the lights back. I think Buchecha probably. I think Buchecha probably wins 2-3. Round one's gonna be really dangerous. Spann's gonna be dangerous in round one. He's known. He's one of these round one guys, man. Like he's. How many finishes does he have in round one? I know he has a few late. Let me see. What? I know he has one later. Clark. Yeah, it was round two versus Clark. Oh, and that was Fury FC, so it doesn't count. Uh, yeah, let me look. UFC Contender Series, round one. He had one decision win. Okay, not bad. Round one. Clark, round two, like I said. He won a split versus Sam Alvey. That was pretty crazy. Serkinov, round one. Reyes, round one. Kutsalabo, round one. Ovens, round one. Brzezinski, round one. I gotta go with Buchecha, man, because if he can't get him out of there, we've seen how he looked at heavyweight versus Waldo. That was rough, like really bad. Like Guskov even, like he TK. Like I just think Buchecha's cardio isn't amazing, but he showed versus Kennedy. If he can get you down, he almost finished Kennedy. If there's more time, he probably finishes Kennedy. Maybe I don't know. He seemed pretty tired as well. I just think he has good control on top once he has you in a dominant position and his submissions are legit. I can see round this is a round two, three spot. I'm decently like I have a decent amount of confidence in as long as he gets through round one. That's my fear with betting this round one or two, three prop. Because if he does not play his cards right, he could easily get finished. He's not getting submitted, but he's easily getting finished if he doesn't play his cards right in round one. Because Span can crack. And yeah, but yeah, I would say easy because Kennedy's probably just as dangerous as Span. So maybe even more because Kennedy's have is more of a natural heavyweight. Span's just like a fat guy out there. So I don't know. I gotta go with Buchecha. Buchecha. I might even get myself to bringing a bet. Might even get myself to bring a bet here, but I don't know. Buchecha's the one I'm looking at though. Odds are starting to go up to negative 140. Probably where I have it. Let me see where I have it. I'm pretty sure it's around that. Like slight favorite. Yeah, slight favorite. So I got Buchecha here. Not much to talk about though. Moving on, Montel Jackson versus Ronnie Barcelos. This is one of those cards, man. It's like the main card is better. I will say that, but this is pretty bad. If this is your prelims, like I will say that. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Jackson. Let me see. Who do I have here? I might be. Yeah, I'm gonna lean Jackson. People have it like negative 180 right now. I wouldn't give those odds because I just think Ronnie can be chinned. I do think he can be chinned. He's 38 years old, not exactly a spring chicken, and I just think Simone. I think Simone, Cody Garbrandt, Peyton Talbot. Peyton's a really good win. I really respect that win. But that actually, Peyton got hurt. I can't remember what round, but he got pretty hurt, concussed, and he was just not there for the rest of the fight. And I'm not taking anything away from Ronnie's win. He's a ridiculously good fighter. Like one of the best underrated fighters in that division. Ridiculously good head movement. Not ridiculously good head movement, sorry. Good head movement. Ridiculously good wrestling for a Brazilian, especially. Good jiu-jitsu. Really good experience. He's been in the UFC how long now? Da, 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 da. He's supposed to fight in 2017. So 2018. He's been in there for almost 10 years, 8 years. That's pretty good. So he's got dangerous. He's got power on the feet too. So it's like I don't know, man. I gotta go with Montel Jackson just because I like Montel's. I think his striking is really good. He's really dangerous, and I don't know. He's lost to Brett Johns, so he can be out wrestled. That's the thing. Why I'm like it could be close because Barcelo's got really good grappling. So I could easily see him getting to his positions and just riding him out for a decision. But I don't know, man. Maybe I think maybe Jackson could keep it on the feet, and if he does, I could see Jackson winning, either by KO, maybe by decision. I don't know, but I'm gonna go Montel Jackson here. I think Montel Jackson is just more. I think he's just more established in his career right now. I feel like he's ready for the challenge that is Ronnie. I don't think it's going to be easy, obviously, but I do think Jackson is probably going to find his way to winning this fight. Man, I don't know, man. It's one of those fights. So Unk versus Young. How old is Jackson? I think he's still pretty young. Um, 33. Getting there, but not old enough to where I can call him an Unk. I just think he's still in his prime, and I think Montel Jackson probably wins. So let's go, Montel Jackson, and yeah, man. I just yeah. I don't know what else to say about this fight. It's a good fight, really good fight. Moving on. Davy Grant versus Adrian Luna Martinetti. Okay, everyone's hyping this Martinetti guy up. He has a pretty record. I'll give him that. 17-1. But who is he fighting? Vlogged as much as you guys want to glaze him from last week and last fight that he's such a good fighter. He puts on such good fights. He really isn't though. Vlogged is a lot of like he's got power and he's all flash with his like kicks and stuff and moves, but he's technically not that good. And I would say the same for Martinetti. He's just technically not that good. These guys can scrap. I'll give him that. And he can be dangerous. He has a bunch of finishes. He has some decent grappling. He went to he competed against a Canadian and Ethan Carlenson. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't rate him like that. I just think he like most of his wins are against bums. And you're fighting in leagues that don't really matter. So it's like what Kalal dos Santos is probably his best win, I would say. If it's a guy, yeah, never mind. I thought it was like the scary looking guy. That doesn't look like a good fighter at all. So he doesn't have any good wins. If you really look at his record, he doesn't have any good wins. Vlogging, I guess, but I wouldn't call that a good win because we saw last week Castaneda styled on him. So and everyone's just counting out Grant because he's older, but it's like he's a dog. He truly is a dog. He's 40, yeah, but how long has he been in the UFC? He's been in the UFC since 2013. So over 13 years he's been in the UFC. I don't want to hear anything from you guys talking crap about. Okay, I guess he took a 3-year hiatus, or not hiatus, but he got canceled out. But it's like he's basically been in the UFC for 13 years, and he beat Marlon Vera. Then he's beat guys like Martinez. He beat Blackshear. Like he's a dog, man. This guy is a dog. So I don't think he's getting out grappled. And Martinez is gonna have to hurt him on the feet. And if he's washed, he's washed. Oh my goodness. Sorry guys. I don't know why my page is so much politics on it, man. I don't know why you can get rid of this. Yeah, whatever. Let's scroll up. Oh my god, he's everywhere. This is just not something Anyways, we'll just ignore it. I think Grant, honestly, I think Grant probably wins, but it's close. It is a close fight. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it's close. I was thinking about betting him at dog odds, but it's like the odds aren't that juicy. And you're betting 50-50 fights at plus 120. I went over this last episode. You're basically should go play Baccarat at that point. You're betting 50-50 fights, and you're not getting that much for value-wise on your return. If you see a 50-50 fight and the guy's like plus 150, plus 200, okay, then yeah, you're maybe taking more of a value bet, whatever. I can understand that, especially if you really think he's going to win. But this is literally a 50-50 fight. We're banking on Grant still being the Grant we know and love. And we're just hoping he teaches this young cat some lessons on what, like Grant's a vet, we know. But it's funny, if you do the math, okay, he doesn't have more fights, but he's like, I think Martinetti is not exactly like he's younger, but he's had a lot of fights himself. Yes, against lower competition, but he's not exactly like a fresh. Like he's gonna be there. He's gonna scrap. And if Grant doesn't like what he's feeling, he might crumble. Who knows? So I don't know. I don't think Grant's known for crumbling, but maybe this is where the tires break off the car and he finally just comes apart. Maybe I don't know. That's why I said this is a show me spot for both guys, and I'd rather just set this one out and watch. Maybe you get a live spot. Maybe round one it's going to be hell for Grant. I don't know. So I would just probably sit this one out if I were you guys. But you guys can bet what you want. Grant's now the favorite, so I definitely am not interested in anymore. I don't know. Maybe I changed my mind. I don't know. I'm probably not touching this fight. But we'll see. Moving on. We have Rafa Garcia versus Alexander Hernandez. I got to go with Alexander Hernandez here. I think Rafa's pretty. He's decent. Don't get me wrong. Like he finished Gordon his last fight, but he was losing to Gordon. Like he was losing, and I just feel like I think he was losing. I could be wrong. What was the scorecards for that fight? I'm too lazy to look. Not lazy, but I don't, we're already like how long now? Oh, only an hour and four. How many fights do we have left? Yeah, we'll be done out of here in a decent hour, decent time. I think Hernandez probably wins. I think he's just gonna be too fast, and I don't think Garcia's pressure is gonna be enough. I think if Vince Pichel and his nice 40 age of 40 can do it, I definitely think Hernandez can. Hernandez has been doing pretty well lately. He's I know with the Hooper win, you can't take much from because it's Hooper, but he TKO Diego Ferreira, um, Hollabaugh he beat, which was definitely not a great look, but he still beat Hollabaugh. Yeah, he hasn't looked great honestly in the past, but I feel like he's finally coming into his form. So I'm gonna take a shot on Hernandez here as a pick. Again, no bet, too close of fights. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go Hernandez here, but yeah, close fight. Close fight. I don't want anything to do with this from a betting perspective. Um, man, what did I talk about this fight for? 1 minute? I'll make it at least two for you guys. I don't want to just yap unnecessarily against fights that I don't really care about, but it's like, man, I don't know. I think Rafa's just mid. Not mid, but like, he's just going to be too hittable. I don't know, man. This is a close fight. At the end of the day, this is a close fight. I don't have a strong read on this fight, so I'm not going to pretend I do. Moving on. Norma Dumont versus Jocelyn Edwards. I think this is another fight where I do think Norma wins. But, keyword, but. Okay, I didn't mean it like that, but it does kind of make sense. This could be another Jurgens fight, honestly. If you guys really know ball, you know ball about these two. But, yeah, Norma Dumont, I lean winning this fight. I think the Battle of the Bunda, I do think Norma Dumont wins this fight. I think she's just gonna be faster. We saw Cornell like dominate on the round one against Edwards. Edwards is just slow. She carries power. Don't get me wrong, but it's like she's just slow, and I don't know, man. I think Dumont's gonna just piece her up on the feet, and then takedown defense. I think Dumont has decent takedown defense. She has good hips, and I think Edwards. She wrestled Cornell, but this is a different level of fighter here. We have Dumont, who's known for pretty good takedown defense, and she's looked good as of late, right? Her last fight, I don't think she won, but she still got the win against Ketlin Vieira. Um, Irene Aldana, she beat her. Jermaine, Chelsea, okay, Chelsea Chen. Carol Rose, like she has some good wins. I don't think she's lost since like 2022. So it's been like 4 years undefeated. Whereas Edwards, she's on a little run herself. But against who? Like Tamaris Vidal, Chelsea Chandler, Cachoeira, Cornell. Like you got dominated by Perez. Like not a good look. Yeah, I don't know, man. I gotta go with Dumont here, just off of the strength of schedule as of late, skill level. I'm gonna go with Dumont. That's probably one of my more confident picks of the card. But again, it's not by much. It's like maybe 65%, I would say. 70 at most. I would say 65 though. Yeah, man, I got Dumont. But Battle of the Bunda, it should be a pretty fun fight if you ask me. Like honestly, like depends how you're looking at it as well. It could be a great fight, right? But let's move on from this one. Moving on. We have Aljamain Sterling taking on Yusuf Zalal. I gotta go with Yusuf Zalal here. This could be close, man. We got Sterling, who's got really good jiu-jitsu. But if you guys have noticed, Sterling hasn't really been taking it that seriously as of late. He's promoting his rum. He's not really doing a lot. He's 36 now at 135 or 145, sorry, and I don't know. Like he's got really good jiu-jitsu. Don't get me wrong. Really good grappling. He's one of the best grapplers, right? I'm pretty sure he was wrestling Evloev, right? But I don't know. Zalal's got really good scrambles, good grappling in his own right. So I don't know. I'm gonna go Zalal, but that's because I feel like he's just better on the feet, and I feel like he cause Sterling some issues. He's got knees up the middle, good footwork. He's not going to be there, and we saw the last time he fought someone with good footwork was O'Malley, and he just got shinned. I don't think obviously Zalal's the sniper that O'Malley is, but I just feel like he can be with his knees. And I feel like he can be dangerous. Like he has, I don't know, he KO'd who is he KO'd? He fought in the UFC when? Yeah, he has a flying knee. So he can be dangerous up the middle. I feel like this could be dangerous for him. Don't sleep on his striking. I think Zalal could be dangerous. I'm gonna lean Zalal. I just feel like Zalal's on a pretty good winning streak right now. Good grappling. Remember that Topuria fight? He did really well in that fight. Hurt Topuria. So I do think Zalal's dangerous everywhere. But obviously, I don't think he's gonna sub Sterling, but he could KO him. So I'm gonna go with Zalal here. Slight lean. I just think his skill set is gonna be better. And yeah, he's not an unk, and I mean he isn't. Let me check. He's got yeah, he's 29 years old, and he has arguably almost the same amount of fights. Almost, arguably, sorry. He's got almost the same amount of fights. He's got like 24 fights. Okay, never mind. He's got close to the amount of fights. If you're going off of years, he has way more fights than Sterling had at 29 years old. So I don't know. I think Zalal's a vet as well. I feel like he's gonna have and they've trained before, so I feel like they both know each other pretty well. But in the cage, I feel like Zalal's gonna be um, more dialed in, whereas Sterling has other things going on. And if he loses, I could see him maybe even retire. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard for these guys to retire because they're not making that much money, so they gotta retire unless like he does have side ventures. I know he's doing real estate, so it's like he could retire. You never know. I gotta go Zalal though. That is my pick. Moving on. Let me give you guys my card review. I give this card maybe a 6. I give it a 6. This is not a card that I'd be running to bet or watch. If this isn't what I do, like betting wise, I probably wouldn't even watch this card until the main event. So honestly, I gotta go with Zalal, but this is not a fight I would run to bet on either. But I do lean Zalal. I feel like the odds are pretty. I feel like the odds are pretty fair. So yeah. Um, Let me give you guys my prospect of the card, and we'll move on from there. I gotta go. If we were gonna say Adrian Luna Martinini, yeah, I don't know about that. I'd probably say Michelle Montague would probably be my prospect of the card. Yeah, I would say that's my prospect of the card. Moving on, I would give you guys my fight of the night. Could be Grant Martinetti, honestly. Like that could be it. Um, I would probably say that, or I don't know. Probably Martinetti. That's probably gonna be my pick. Martinetti and Grant. And then my top five picks: number one, Montague. Number two, oh, I forgot to talk about. This is an additional fight. I'll mention after I do my top five. Actually, I'll do this first before I do my top five. We have another fight. We have arguably it hasn't been announced yet, but we're in the works. If Philo versus Durden, if that fight comes to fruition, I'm on Philo all day, and I'm saying this because Philo has just he's better. He has a better skill set. He is much better on the feet. Beautiful calf kicks. He's dangerous everywhere. Good jiu-jitsu. Durden's is coming off some losses. I just don't think Durden's head is, fully there. He looked like mentally checked out his last fight. And I don't know, man. I just feel like losing to Terman Demirel was not a good look. I don't think Terman Demirel is that good, honestly. And I think Philo is. So I'm gonna go Philo here. Pretty confident in that. It's not a long breakdown or anything. I don't even know if that fight's gonna happen. So that's why I'm just gonna make it quick and brief. But I got to go with Jafal Philo here. That's one of my more confident picks. So if that fight is real, I would say my number one pick would be Jafal Filo. Number two, I'm gonna go Montague. Number three, I'm gonna go Dumont. Number four, I'm gonna go Zalal. And number five, I'm gonna go for Vieira. Sorry. Yeah, guys, those are gonna be my picks. Like, subscribe. You know the drill. I'll catch you next one. Let's see how long we did today. Yeah, it's not that bad. A little less than last week. I tried to, we're on track to make it longer, but this car is really not worth talking about. Once again, guys, join the Discord. Don't be weird. Don't be just some stalker in there. Communicate. Happy you guys in there, but I will be cutting people if you're not talking or socializing or whatever. Um, I need some communication, man, or at least message me. I can't have bots in there. I can't have weird people in there just in there for ulterior motives, not even to make money. They're just in there to like watch what I'm doing. Like, I don't know, go watch somebody else, man. I don't really I do this to help people, not to have weird people watching what I'm doing. But regardless, guys, that's just a little side note. I appreciate you guys supporting my channel. Like, subscribe. You know the drill. I'll catch you next time. Have a great rest of your week. God bless. Peace.